Alright, that looks like it's live. Still in the testing phase. Testing forever. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so it's not too laggy. So it's I have no idea what this thing is. I'm just doing anything. I can't seem to draw a decent circle. Whenever I try, it comes out like really wonky like that. Don't know what that's about. Hey, but hey, people, what's going on? Welcome to the test. Inspiration. How can you hear? Yeah, how's the audio? Because I'm just kind of testing stuff out. You know how it goes. Uh-oh. See, I seem to have made my program hang here already. Alright, wait. What's going on? Dodi. Dodi Abelardo. Hey, man. Hey, people still call me I'm not a director anymore. I don't know if I ever had the attitude of a director. I never liked directing, honestly. But don't tell anybody. Yeah, say that on a live stream. I never liked directing. Don't tell anybody. Yeah. So, you know, I've been testing out see if I can actually live stream whatever it is I'm drawing or animating. And my issues have been, oh cool, the audio is good? Okay. Yeah. I guess as long as you can understand what I'm saying. You know, I mean, I want to slowly get into, like, you know, just animation discussions and maybe how to animate this or that, or just, you know, going through the process of what's going on in my head when I'm doing the drawings and animating. You know, maybe that might help some people. Because I have had some friends of mine request that I do live streams, or at least, you know, not even live streams. I mean, just instructional videos and things like that. But the thing is, with my gear being so old, I tried recording while I was animating, and it's even worse. There's no way, not with this gear. You know. So right now, I'm just doing random stuff right now, and hopefully that's coming out the way I'm seeing it on screen, on my screen. Because believe it or not, to be well, thank you. You know, I mean, I'm pretty burnt out with the studio scene, though. I guess I'll always love animation. It's always fascinating. You know, it's a fascination, isn't it? You know, you draw something and you start to make it move, and you know, it'll always be fascinating. But I think I've just totally burnt out. I spent so many years just working, even though I was burnt out because, you know, I mean, I had obligations. The kids were kids then. You know, they're all off. They're all done with college now. So, you know, I've got the time. I'm fine. I don't need to make any money. I can be broke as I want and just do my thing. I don't know. But yeah, you know, I'll always love animation, but I don't know if I'm comfortable working in studios. I might have to. We all need money. I don't know how long my savings are gonna last, but you know, Just enjoy doing my thing here. Wait a minute, why is that a blank frame? Is that a blank? Okay, blank frame there. Okay, now I'm using here. I don't know what you guys are using, but I'm using, what is this? Tahoma for my animations. And what? There we go. Right. Look, I can't see this drawing here. This drawing's blank, and that's blank. Okay. It's pretty random stuff. I think I might want to see the first drawing. He's somewhere here. When you do roughs, you might just want to make general ideas and suggestions for yourself on where you might want things to be. So you don't have to be too caught up in making the drawing all super clean and pristine. Not as yet, especially if you're working just on the movement to start, you know. And then just kind of work that out as you go. And thankfully, it doesn't be lagging so bad when I get livable. I can live with this stroke. But just to get a general feel of where the extremes of the action will be, you know. See how Streamlabs is doing. You doing alright? Oh, okay. Well, the signal seems to be steady enough. So every time I try to draw curves, it does that thing where it does hexagons instead of curves. It does angles instead of curves. But that's more of an issue of how old my laptop is. It's the old Celeron thingy. I don't know if I'm gonna update that, but I'm gonna have to do it sometime. Let's just have him exit this right there. I'll figure out how he gets there. Okay. Now when I made a batch of roughs like this, what I usually do is I just kind of time them out in some uniform way, like I make everything like on threes, you know, because there's this thing where you can select everything and set them to a certain number of frames, so each one is 3 frames right now, which means every drawing is happening at 9 frames. Because I set the frames per second, if you can see that down here, down there. Set the frames per second of the animation scene itself to 12 frames per second. That's so it's not too much of a load on the CPU. And so it actually, well, so it actually streams. Because I've tested it out. I've tested this all out. It seems like that is about the fastest I can go with it, 12 frames per second. But, you know, like without too much concern of how the exposure and the real timing is, I just sort of lay out the drawings like that, and then we can just loop that and see. You know? Yeah, I just sort of like do that. So I can check out just basically the sequence of my drawings, or if all the drawings are there, or if they're the right distance from each other. Not necessarily the speed yet. I work on I refine the timing later. At this stage, I'm just, you know, laying out the roughs, making sure all the drawings or the extremes of the drawings are there. You know, I can work on in-betweens and the breakdowns later. And from there, okay, so if I'm happy with that, I'm sure I can improve that some, but, you know, but I won't. So from there, I just sort of start to decide where I might want, like, you know, for smoothness' sake. Like if I was intending to make this a really smooth piece of work, I start trying to figure where I might want more drawings to slow it down. Or where drawings should be like easing into the next, like say from here, from this key drawing 1 here to this 3 here, I put in a blank drawing there because I might want a slow start to how he's right. So maybe he turns his head, still kind of favored to where it's coming from. Something like that. Most of it can just be, I can kind of like just put little dots and guides here to tell myself that those are just in-betweens, or fairly just middle drawings, where the timing that's important is actually happening in the head right now. So after that drawing, I might want him to have an anticipation before he does the reaction. Take out some of the onion skins here. Actually, there's an opportunity to cheat right there. I could just grab this and then copy that and paste it on and just kind of manipulate it a bit so we have a bit of an angle. So, you know, we have a mix of like limited animation and some, you know, smooth bits on it. And if you're using Tahoma, see, if you select it and then you hold down the control key, you can distort the edges of it, so, so that you have some skewing and distortion on it. And you can also decide where you want the anchor point to be. So let's say in this case, if he's standing on the ground, I might want to put that there so that wherever I drag these corners, he's still pinned to the ground somewhat. No, you don't want to mess with, I mean, it doesn't have to be too distorted. I just, want some sort of like, maybe a bit of widening, but maybe not that much. And then the one before this, I might also want to add a blank frame, so I copy the one it's coming from and make an overshoot out of that. Yeah. There are ways to make this easier. I mean, in the end, it doesn't have to be the super pristine thing. I mean, they're all different styles of animation. It all comes down to entertainment factor. I mean, I like a lot of animations that are just really wonky with bad drawings on them and everything. So it's all about the entertainment factor and, what works. It just has to look like it works. It doesn't have to be, this animation, it doesn't have to be like right. There is no real hard and true correct. So he stretches up, gets back in there. I want to hold that one for a bit. And then he anticipates to start running. Well, what have we got so far? What have we done here? Let's see. All right. You see those bits where he hopped up in the air. Now the thing is, like, there's some cases where these sorts of drawings, these number of drawings would be enough and you wouldn't really have to smooth them anymore, I mean, it depends on the kind of project you're working on. I mean, if it was something for the internet, it was an animation short, I wouldn't really, I might not go so far as to, do it all on single frames with every single drawing and in between in there. Sometimes there's an appeal in having all those, like, holds and, so yeah. And then from this anticipation, all right. I mean, let's say I was making, stuff a little bit smoother. Let's just take that drawing, copy it, and squash it down a bit more. Why not? And at the home, it's S to select, and the standard Control C and Control V, copy and paste, and I'm just gonna squash it down a bit. And then with his leap in the air, I think I'm gonna wanna have a join there that gets in there. Like a bit more of a stretched push-up. Up, whoop, wait. What have I done there? Oh, okay. There's an existing thing, okay. I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to Tahoma. There are people that I do ask when it comes to how things work. There's a NT and Blended Planet. I mean, those guys had a lot of experience using Tahoma and a few other animation programs and apps, for editing. So if I am confused about stuff and I'm really stumped and I can't figure stuff out, I ask them guys. They know what they're doing with this stuff by now. Yeah. Alright. Maybe I want them to spin the air there, but... I could have cheated that, but you know, I mean, it's like I want to mix in bits where I'm cheating, just copy pasting, and then actually drawing some stuff. You know, a bit of a mix of the two actually is not a, it's not a look, it's not a bad style. You know. So let me go ahead and do that. Do I actually want an in-between of him coming down? Yeah, why not? We're here, aren't we? Let's just go ahead and give it an in-between. So some, you know, the features like, you know, I'll like the arms show a bit of weight by dragging just a bit more behind while the mass has already gone down. The legs may be stretched up here. And this leg a bit less of a force, so it's actually dragging a bit, you know, coming from, favoring where it came from right there, because this is where it's going to end up, this is where it came from, and I'm still favoring where it came from, while this other leg is pretty much already where I want it to be in the next one. So it's like, it's like all the parts moving at the same time, you know what I mean? Okay. And then he pushes off. Weird angles when I try to do curves. I can't really draw as fast as I really do. I mean, my strokes are pretty fast, but you know, again, you know, the gear is pretty low, so I've got to be considerate with what my CPU can handle. This poor Celeron. Okay. See what we got there? Yo! Out of here! Well, it's looking fairly smooth there, so I might as well like smoothen out the end there. Because, you know, since the beginning of the scene is fairly smooth, I may as well smoothen out the end of the scene, how he exits. Because this looks choppy here at the end, you know, relative to the rest of the scene. Maybe just at the end there with how he exits, because I think what I'm looking for here is one more drawing where he squashes down before he actually takes off. It's like all I'm really doing sometimes is making marker extremes, like if this is where the hand is, I just sort of make a dark line there to indicate to myself, like that's where I want the hand, this I want this foot, I want the other foot. And I find I'm usually starting with, sometimes I start from the ground up. It doesn't matter if the drawing is coming out weird yet, it's the movement after at the start of. So I don't really pay much weight to how the drawings really look or if they're pristine. As long as I'm still dealing with the animation or the movement itself, then I'll deal with the movement. Yeah, it's not gonna be. Oh, I see where. A Patreon? No. I mean, I've set up a Patreon page and stuff like that, and I do have a Discord. But the thing is, until I'm sure that I am 100% committed, when I'm sure that I've committed myself to really doing this stuff on the regular, because right now, just things are in such a flux right now in life. Like sorry, but I can't really tell myself, okay, 100%, I'm gonna keep making this content every day, 24/7, because then I'd feel confident asking people, to, hey, I've got a Patreon and all of that. But right now, it would seem like disingenuous, like unfair. It would be unfair to people if I said, hey, I've got a Patreon, support me. And then and then I'm really committing to it or not able to commit to it anyway. So I think I'll be sure first. I want to be sure of myself. I want to be sure that I'm committed to this, and then I'd be more confident asking people, hey, you want to check out more of this content, but stuff like that. I'll be doing it regularly, such a schedule and things like that, which I wouldn't mind eventually. Of life. I think that's the key. I think that's the key thing. It's like, how do you make this sketch kind of feel like it's got a life to it? I think it has a lot to do with. Strangely enough, it's not. It seems like I'm doing random stuff, but there really is. I really do seem to stick to this stringent process where I'm not. I used to have to make an effort to not be concerned with what the final drawing looks like, and I try to make like really clean drawings while I'm trying to do the movement. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe the Japanese can do it, but I can't. It's like it's always a good idea to just lay down your basic main ideas and let the chicken scratch be chicken scratch. Just let it be garbage until it's not. That's my overriding principle, Oh, you're too kind, Sad. You are. Yeah. Well, thanks. It is endless, but the thing is, it comes from. I guess you can sort of tell that, it doesn't matter if I hate the animation scene or I am burnt out from the animation scene. It has nothing to do with my love for animation itself, because it feels like every time I just kind of sit down and start to do something, it starts out random. It starts becoming something. I don't think about it too much. You can tell that I'm just endlessly fascinated by making this stuff just move, I mean, it's fascinating stuff. I don't think I'll ever outgrow it. I mean, I hope not. I mean, it seems like something fun to do with your time. I think so. Okay. So, I mean, hopefully, I'm looking at this, I've got my phone, I got my cell phone on the side here, got to see if it's actually playing out according to the frame rate that I'm seeing. I'm pretty sure with my unreliable internet that it's not playing as smoothly as it should be. Well, so I'm kind of double checking backwards, left and right. I'm looking at my phone, at my own stream, seeing if it's like, if the animation is playing the way I see it on my screen. I seem to have found the settings. It seems to work, because right now I'm seeing him run, I'm seeing him react and run off the screen and all that. So yeah, it seems to be working out. So he's like, oh. I don't even know what he's reacting to. Maybe this is a projection of some sort. Maybe this is how I feel. He's like, oh my god, I've actually put myself out there live. I gotta get out of here. Exit, screen right. Gone, man. See ya. Well, okay. So I guess I'm pretty happy with that test. I guess that test worked out alright. We got the audio working. You say the audio sounds fine and all of that. Okay, I'm pretty cool with that. What was it? Save that scene. Save that scene you want to remember. It's your first successful stream. After so many tests. I shit you not. It's like I must have tested privately for like I don't know, 15, anywhere from 15 to 20 times. I kid you not. I tested private, and I could not get, what am I using? Streamlabs. I couldn't get OBS to work at all. I mean, I could make it work, and the audio seemed to be fine, but I could not for the life of me play the animation at an acceptable rate. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's like if we were going to discuss animation and we were, you know, especially if you had questions on how to do this and how to do that, I'd have to be able to play it and show it to you the way I see it on my screen, right? So that's what I was going for, and man, I almost gave up. Excuse me. I pretty much did actually. What I did is I published the very last test. I think it was test number 17 or something. Yeah. And I went ahead and made that private test public because it's funny the way during that test when I'm testing out recording the audio, you know, and testing out if it's actually playing smoothly, I was going on about how I'd given up, and it's like, it's not gonna happen, it's not ever gonna blah blah blah. And while I was doing that test, I'd actually found the settings. I'd hit upon the settings that actually work. So, you know, so there you go. So it looks like, you know, all I've got to do is make sure I'm not asking for too much bit rate or too much bandwidth from Streamlabs, you know, the streaming software that I'm using. As long as I am not too ambitious with my settings over there, it seems to be working fine. Because I'm looking at this on my cell phone right now. It's you know, it's fairly there. It's you can pretty much see it the way I timed it on my screen. So yeah. Okay. Say that, you know. Well, I guess that's, you know, I'll leave it at that for now. I mean, you know, I'll end on a high note and say I actually finished the short animation scene live. Whoopee. All right, man. So thanks for popping in, sad idiot. I don't know why you would be. You don't sound like a sad idiot to me, but thanks for popping in. And Dorothy, if you're still there, hi. Say hi to everybody for me. Right. So I guess we'll leave it at that for now. And I'll try and think up and prepare a more concrete topic to discuss when it comes to animation in the next stream. Yeah, but I'm glad you're inspired with your own art for this. Yeah. So yeah, you know, let's leave it at that for now, and thanks for joining the stream. I really thought I'd be, you know, I didn't think people would be around. You know, you can tell I'm used to talking to myself. I was testing this stuff out just to test the audio and stuff like that. Thank you too. You know? So I'll see you guys later, huh? Awesome. Audio good, animation frame rate good. Cool.